Welcome to today's session. I think I want to give us a name. First gen wealth builder. How does that sound? I think it sounds nice. So if you identify as a first gen wealth builder, just say hi in the comments. Okay, so yesterday I introduced myself and talked about why I'm doing this because of from my career and even as a person from my own background. And I know there are a lot of people in this category, between the ages 28 and 35 who do not have leverage and they would want to, start something. They will want to break that, that barrier, that hindrance, financial hindrance, financial barrier, whatever name you want to call it. But I know there are people who fall in this category and I want to help us, together because I have, figured out how to overcome this and I want to help others on this journey as well. So that being said, one of the things that I would say is the primary cause of, generational lack, quote and unquote, is not enough knowledge or information. So you'll see that maybe our parents or grandparents, they didn't have the kind of knowledge and information. For people who have generational wealth, one of the key leverage that they have is information. Somebody in that lineage, somebody in that family started, getting the right information, applied it, and made wealth, and now transferred it from generation to generation. So it's the same thing that is at play here. There are families that 4 or 5 generations before you didn't have information about building wealth. They didn't know how to go about it. Not necessarily that they didn't have the means. That is also a case. That is also a valid point. There are some families that they don't have the means. Even if they have the information today, they still don't have the means to carry out, the what would make them, have that wealth that they can transfer from one generation to the other. And so that is what I would want to, talk about today. Knowledge, information, having information, having access to the right knowledge, having access to the right information. It is very key in wealth building. And that is why I'm focusing on it today. Having knowledge, it's very key. I would say it's like the main character. If it was a movie, if wealth building was a movie, information will be the main character because you can have billions sitting somewhere and you don't make good use of it, or you don't allocate it properly in the right vehicles, that 1 billion would erase or lose value because of inflation and maybe other things that would erode the value of that money. So that is why I want us to come together, right, as a community to get this information and then know how to, apply this information accurately. So until next time, stay blessed.